welcome back. Now, there has been a couple of questions about a particular subject that I feel I can add to. So, let's see if we can do this justice. I'm Colin Beeman, and today we're going to be touching on the subject of what makes a good driving shoe. Well, let's look at what the average work wear is going to look like, and let's be honest, I'm definitely not driving in work boots. I wear a size 13 men's here in the United States, and that boot simply does not fit in the CRX foot box. I constantly scrape my toes on the foot box as it is with just normal shoes on. So we're going to start with something I can drive in, a hiking shoe. Very similar to a work boot for the most part, but let's go over it. Well, this thing, kind of hefty, even this hiking shoe, which hiking shoes are usually pretty light compared to a work boot. The thing is pretty stiff. It has no give, and really, if you do have work boots with ankles, it can stiffen up the ankle support a little bit, but not much. Now, forgive me, these are absolutely destroyed and completely walked through. But does it give me much pedal feel? No, these have such a thick rubber insole that I can't even tell where my foot is on the pedal. I'm just kind of hunting in the dark. Now, does that mean you cannot drive with these kinds of shoes? Absolutely not. These shoes, as you guys can see, do function and perform quite well. Actually, I want to bring in to this discussion is the fact that Team O'Neill, the rally school out in New Hampshire, has done a video on this very topic. Now, something that Wyatt Knox will point out is they do wear shoes like these almost every day for hours at a time because it's work. Now, why would a driving school be wearing something like this? Well, because first and foremost, they're in and out of cars all day, walking around in mud and gravel and snow, so they want to have something they can work in, use equipment in, and also drive in. This style of hiking shoe actually does allow you to drive pretty comfortably. I can drive and do everything I need to in this shoe. Is it my first pick? No, but this is where the topic gets more interesting, personal preference. So let's move on from this onto something I use a lot more frequently, which is a skate shoe. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen most of my videos I'm wearing either a skate shoe or a loafer style, but I do skate. This is your most common form of skate shoe, a Van style of shoe. These shoes in particular are fantastic. Now, as many of you will know, completely worn out Vans are some of the most comfortable pairs of shoes you can own. So what makes it good for driving and doing everything throughout the day? Well, first off, it's an everything shoe. You can shoot in it, you can run in it, you can skate in it, you can bike in it, you can drive in it all day long. And part of what makes it so effective is because of its lightweight design, super flexibility, I can twist it, right? All this stuff, and the fact that they are cheap, relatively cheap. You can get into a pair of Vans anywhere from $60 to $140-ish, depending on how much you want to spend. A skate shoe does great. Now, why does it do great? It has a very thin profile inner sole and outer sole. It's super flexible. It's relatively lightweight for what it is. And it just is comfortable. The more you wear them in, the more comfortable they get. Let's move on from there. Next is our driving oriented shoe. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's a racing shoe, but this is more for that occasion, more for a driver's feel, if you will. We have a driving loafer. Now, this may look like your granddad's old slippers, but I assure you these are some of the most comfiest shoes I have. I look forward in the summers to wearing these just because finally it's warm enough you can wear something this thin. What makes this shoe in particular a good shoe? The shoe actually gives you great support for driving. First off, it's super light, super flexible. I can twist this all day, and the fact that it has a rolled heel. This obviously doesn't make that big of a deal. I would be lying if I said I felt a difference between this and my pair of Vans for the heel aspect of it, but it does feel very comfortable to drive in. I know exactly where my toes are on the pedal. I know exactly how much force I'm applying. And if you guys notice, there's a slit in the sole here. The thought is have some more flexibility in your foot, which now, do you want to wear something like this 24/7? Maybe not unless you're like me and like to dress like a grandfather. But I very much recommend these. You can find them anywhere from Goodwill for $15 to paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a pair of driving loafers. Just think about Ayrton Senna. What would he do? Anyways, progressing from there, we have something more of a traditional driving shoe, something actually born from racing and made for racing. We have an actual racing shoe. Now, the benefit to something like this, I know these ones are a little dirty, but these are my driving shoes, my personal driving shoes. But these shoes are fantastic. Now, these do have a little bit more weight than the loafer, obviously. But why? Well, first off, when I first got these, they were incredibly stiff. I could not walk in them. It hurt to walk in them. But after about 2 or 3 days of wearing them pretty regularly, just around the house, they did finally start to wear in. Now, I will say the heel is still incredibly stiff. I've had these for about a year. And yeah, they're not as worn as some other driving shoes that I'm sure others have, but they are fantastic shoes. I love these shoes. If it didn't have this logo on the side, I would wear them 24/7. But we aren't a sneaker channel here, so let's get on with it. What makes this shoe above all the others a racing shoe? Well, first and foremost, it has a rolled heel, just like the driving loafer. Is that a big thing? Again, I don't believe it is a huge thing. I, again, would be lying if I said it made a difference or I noticed a difference. But the fact that it has a very thin sole means I can get better feel over the pedal. I know, again, exactly where my foot is and my toes are on the pedal. And it has great ankle support, which is why, partly, why it is heavier than the loafer. Obviously, the loafer has a lot less material, but this is a good shoe that's going to give you good ankle support and you can really cinch down onto your foot. One of the added bonuses of this shoe and why it is important for racing and why they are required is because of their flame retardant aspect. Any racing shoe, any real racing shoe should have some tag on it specifying what kind of certification it has and when it expires, just like any other piece of racing equipment. Now, obviously, my own opinion doesn't matter in this aspect at all. It is all solely on your opinion. What makes you the most comfortable? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's anything you guys have questions, comments, or concerns about, list them down below. I know you guys love to answer each other's questions, which is fantastic. I will do nothing to stop that. And if you guys have any driving ideas or questions about anything driving oriented, let us know here. We'd love to help you guys out and learn together.